Hello Igraspers, we are glad to see you on this week's news wrap. Discipline is doing what you know needs to be done, even if you don't want to do it. So let's get ready and always step up to a disciplined life. The highlights of today's news capsule are: India is exceeding Paris Agreement targets, says PM Narendra Modi. UK to ban sales of new diesel and gasoline cars in 2030. A small town in Alaska will see next daylight in 2021. Mysterious new mushroom species glow like the northern lights in Meghalaya's forests. Wrestling legend The Undertaker bids farewell to WWE Universe. And last but not the least, our fascinating F2 segment. It's now time to begin with the national news segment.
G20, as you all know, Igraasp, is an international forum for governments and central bank governors from 19 countries and the European Union. It is a premier global forum for discussing economic issues. Prime Minister Narendra Modi last week addressed the G20 summit virtually, emphasizing that climate change should remain in focus. The Prime Minister said, India has adopted low carbon and climate resilient development practices and added that India is not only meeting the Paris Agreement targets but is also exceeding them. Igraasp, the Paris Agreement is an agreement dealing with greenhouse gas emissions, mitigation, adaptation and finance signed in 2016. Under the Paris Agreement, each country must determine, plan and regularly report on the contribution that it makes to mitigate global warming. Did you know India will now host the G20 summit of the high-profile grouping in 2023, a year later than what was decided earlier?
What if you had a device that could understand your thoughts without even you needing to say them aloud? Unreal as it may sound, Delhi-based Arnav Kapoor, a postdoctoral scholar at Massachusetts Institute of Technology, has invented such a device known as Alter Ego. This is an artificial intelligence-enabled headset which augments human cognition and gives voice to those who have lost their ability to speak. Alter Ego has been named as one of the 100 best inventions of 2020 by Time under the experimental category. Alter Ego doesn't read your thoughts, but it can enable you to communicate with your computer without touching a keyboard or opening your mouth. It is indeed going to be a boon in terms of supporting people with speech disorders, and therefore it is certainly an important creation. How much we can create from applying our minds is phenomenal, Igraspers, don't you think?
The United Kingdom recently made an announcement that is being hailed as an excellent and powerful initiative to stop climate change. It is said that it will ban the sale of new cars that run only on fossil fuels in 2030. This move will phase out polluting vehicles earlier than any major economy. This is a part of a green industrial revolution announced by Prime Minister Boris Johnson in an effort to better the environment. Some say it might actually harm car makers and the economy, but the government maintains that with sufficient planning and cooperation, the ban will be a win-win situation for everyone. It is time other nations take inspiration and work together to save our planet.
Diamond is one of the hardest materials found on Earth, and it takes billions of years for them to form deep in the Earth with exceptionally high pressure and temperatures exceeding 1000 degrees Celsius. But a team of scientists has created two different types of diamonds at room temperature, and that too in a matter of minutes for the first time ever. So how is this accomplished? In a normal diamond, atoms are arranged in a cubic crystalline structure, but it is possible to rearrange these carbon atoms to give them a hexagonal crystal structure. This different form of diamond is called Lonsdaleite, and this, as well as regular diamonds, can be formed at room temperature in a lab setting by just applying high pressures. What's interesting is that Lonsdaleite diamonds will also be 58% harder than regular diamonds. A revolution indeed in terms of technology.
Scientists from NASA Center in Maryland and their international collaborators have demonstrated a groundbreaking method to map the location, size, and carbon capacity of trees growing outside forests. Trees growing outside forests, however, are scattered all around the world, and the process of mapping each one would have taken multiple years of tedious work had it not been for the powerful supercomputers and machine learning algorithms of the team. Carbon is an essential part of the world. Some activities release carbon, like the burning of fossil fuels by humans, while others suck in carbon, like trees who need carbon for their growth. Understanding using technology how many trees around the world suck in how much carbon is essential for scientists talking about the carbon cycle of the earth and climate change. This discovery can truly change the way in which millions act around the world. Kudos to the team.
A small town in Alaska called Utqiagvik, formerly known as Barrow, saw its last sunlight on the 19th of November. Yes, the town will now greet the sun again next year, in about 60 days. Darkness until then. How is this possible? This is a phenomenon known as a polar night, which occurs in the northernmost and southernmost regions of the Earth due to Earth's placement during the winters. Slight twilight will still come in daytime hours, but darkness otherwise until the 22nd of January, when the sun is expected to rise again. The citizens of Utqiagvik experienced the bang opposite in summers, a polar day with 24 hours of sunlight due to Earth's tilt on its axis. What a fascinating astronomical occurrence.
Igraasp, did you know that bioluminescence is a phenomenon of production and emission of light by a living organism? In August, when a group of scientists from India and China embarked on a fungal documentation project in Assam, they not only discovered 600 new varieties of fungi, but also a bioluminescent or light-emitting mushroom known as Rhidomyces pilosticidus. Interestingly, local residents were already using the glowing bamboo sticks as a means to navigate through the forest in darkness. What's more is that they look as beautiful as the northern lights. They light up parts of the jungle and remind us of nature's marvelous creations.
Like all organisms in the food chain, bees are essential for our ecosystems as they are major pollinators of many of our staple foods. However, with dwindling insect populations amongst the 900,000 plus found on the earth, it's important to gather data on bees in order to preserve and protect them from extinction. To create this global bee map, researchers from Singapore and China compared data on the occurrence of individual bee species with a checklist of over 20,000 species, which helped to determine just how many species of bees are distributed all around the world. Some interesting results from the study are that there are fewer bee species in forests and jungles than in deserts, and there are more in the northern hemisphere than in the southern. Now you know what areas to prevent to not get stung, right, Igraspers?
Friends, do you know who won New Zealand's Bird of the Year for the second time? It was Kakapo, the world's fattest parrot. The Kakapo is also known as the mighty mouse chicken. It is an endangered species, but conservation efforts since the 1990s seem to be reversing this trend. The Kakapo is also the world's longest living parrot. They used to live throughout New Zealand, but now only survive on predator-free islands. These magnificent birds are the only parrots in the world that can't fly. They hop on. This fascinating creature has captured the world's eye by winning the Kiwi Award. It is a real case study for ornithologists.
The Undertaker, aka Mark Calloway, debuted in 1990 with a 7 feet tall frame and weighing over 320 pounds. Everyone around the world sat up and took notice of this phenomenon. After spending 3 decades in the arena, The Undertaker bids farewell. the WWE posted a warm video tribute to the legend wherein wrestlers like Stone Cold Steve Austin, John Cena, and many others paid their respects to the legend. Truly, it is the end of an era.
Argentinian football legend Diego Maradona passed away at the age of 60 owing to a heart attack, sending millions of fans worldwide into mourning. Along with Pele, he was renowned as one of the greatest players ever to play the game. Maradona will forever be remembered for his hand of God goal against England in the 1986 World Cup quarterfinals in Mexico. R.I.P. Diego.
Igraspers, in our segment Postcard from Rural India, we bring you realities based on interest and sheer dedication. Priyanka Yadav is from Bundelkhand, which is a region now divided between the states of Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. Priyanka, daughter of a farmer, has been selected for Junior National Kabaddi Championship. Her journey in the sport started off as a hobby. However, slowly, her interest in the sport increased and she started enjoying it. While her parents are extremely concerned about her safety while pursuing Kabaddi, her coach and sister are her biggest supporters. When talking about her future, Priyanka hopes of making a name for herself and making her family proud. And we at Igraasp wish you the best, Priyanka.
The second story comes for the tribal district of Maharashtra, where children from across 40 villages assemble to attend school, with some classes even held on an unconstructed road. A number of social workers and educators ensure that children from tribal areas are not left out while their counterparts from other regions of the country, which is you and me, have access to high-tech online classes. It is so important to be grateful for everything we have and appreciate it.
Taylor Swift bagged the award for Artist of the Year at the American Music Awards 2020 for her album Folklore. She has now become the most awarded artist in the history of these awards. She's also won Favorite Female Artist and Favorite Music Video for Cardigan, bringing her overall award tally to 32. Here's to more girl power.
The word of the week is inevitable, which means that which cannot be avoided or prevented from happening. Accidents are the inevitable result of driving too fast.
It is that time of year when Americans offer gratitude for their food, families, and other blessings on Thanksgiving Day, on the fourth Thursday of November. This year, it was on the 26th of November, 2020. The first Thanksgiving in America was in 1619 in Virginia, but it was in 1863 during the Civil War when President Abraham Lincoln declared that National Thanksgiving Day would be held each November in the United States. However, did you know that Canadian Thanksgiving is celebrated on the second Monday of October? Thanksgiving is always a day filled with family time, feasting, fun, and frolic. With this year being so full of surprises, let's take a moment to pause and offer our thank yous for all our blessings.
It's time for a riddle. Let's go for a funny riddle. What can make an octopus laugh? It's tentacles.
Can you guess who? She was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize in chemistry and physics. She discovered two new elements, radium and polonium. The element she discovered was named polonium after her own homeland, Poland. Yes, you got it right. We are talking about Marie Curie. Did you know that Poland and France declared 2011 as the year of Marie Curie?
Did you know that minimalism was an art movement that started after World War II? It comprises of a limited palette, geometric patterns, and repetition to keep things simple. Minimalist philosophy proposes that art, design, architecture, and all walks of life must use only what is essential. It is also a sustainable philosophy. Wouldn't you agree, Igraspers?
Quiz time! Which famous minimalist artist made black paintings? Send your answers to contact us at igraasp.com. Answer for the last week's quiz. Earth's water cycle is also known as hydrologic cycle. This certificate of appreciation is presented to Mandrita Bhattacharya of St. Augustine's Day School, Barrackpore, for participating in the weekly quiz on India's leading news capsule for tweens, Igraasp.
Dear Igraspers, this week let's peek into the Narayanpur incident. In this fictional account of the Quit India movement of 1942, started by Mahatma Gandhi, two kids, Babu and Manju, are in a dilemma. Their father is jailed by the Britishers. Their brother Mohan goes into hiding as the family moves to Narayanpur. While the rest of the country is grappling with unrest, this little town seems unaffected. But a revolution is brewing. A group of children dare to confront the police in a dramatic climax. What exactly will happen? Read the story and send your feedback on contactus@igraasp.com.
This brings us to the end of our news wrap. Best friends make the good times better and the hard times easier. So until we meet again, cherish your friendships and celebrate each moment with gratitude and love. Do visit us on www.igraasp.com for your favorite feeds from around the world. See you next week.